Hi everyone, welcome to Tuesday. And of course, we're going to take a look at the performance of the main board for the New Zealand Stock Exchange, being the NZSX50. Before I jump across and share my screen, just remember the normal housekeeping rules, and that is, this is for educational purposes only. No way is it intended to be personalised financial advice. For that, you do need to go and have a chat to your own financial advisor. If you are, however, wanting to learn more about share trading, share investing, and the methodology I use, or even perhaps if you would like me to review a share for you, then by all means reach out, leave a message in the comments below, and we will see if we can do that. Right, let's take a look. Okay, so as you can see here, I have got the gross index for the NZSX50 up here on the screen. And great news, we have had another bit of a positive week last week. So whilst it was down on Friday for the day, that's where you can see the little minus there, down about 1.15%, it is actually closed up for the week, which is great. The thing that is a little bit of a concern, if I zoom in, if we just look at that candle, you can see that very last candle, it has got quite a strong upper wick, which does potentially mean that the bears were in control. Whilst the sellers were trying to drive that price up, the bears did win on this battle, and of course, whilst our market closed up for the week, it certainly was driven down by people selling, obviously, whether they were taking profit or who knows what they were doing. But the encouraging thing here is because it is up, which is great, you can see it's closed at around that $13,042 level. We're getting really close to where we have had some highs most recently, which is around that 13,200 point level. That is great. That is quite encouraging. Just putting on our moving averages, and we'll just take a look. So I use the 30 exponential moving average initially, and you can see here that the market is trading above that, which is a great sign. You're starting to get a little bit of movement away from it, but nothing to be concerned about in my view, which is great. Let's also put on the 15-week moving average. And again, we'll move that to exponential. Right, and you can definitely see here that the 15-week moving average has crossed through that 30, and that sort of happened around the end of June this year. That's great. Our indices is actually trading very close to those moving averages. That too is a good positive sign. If I look down the bottom here at some of the indicators that I've got on, the RSI, which is the relative strength indicator, that is starting to get up towards sort of an oversold area, but it's not in oversold territory. But the main thing is that indicator is pointing up. That is great. That is certainly something that we want to see. Let's jump across to the 1 year, which will show us daily candles. If I do look here though, just looking at that RSI on the daily, it started to turn down. So that means we do need to keep an eye on this. Whether it's just a short-term little blip, who knows? But you can see here on Friday, there was quite a big sell-off. And that's what drove the market and gave us that extra little wick that I initially talked about. It had a high on Friday of about 13,194, so we almost got back to that 13,200 level, which was all-time highs, but you can see that it closed at 13,042. So there was quite a bit of selling pressure come through just on Friday. Why that is, I don't know. We just need to keep an eye on it. Looking at the daily chart here as well, we're still trading above both of those moving averages. Again, like I've said, it is a good positive sign. But the thing that I would be watching for this week going forward is just this little momentum indicator down here, the relative strength indicator. Just see if that does start to perhaps flick back up. I mean, it's fairly neutral at the moment, but the fact that it's pointing down is something that, like I said, is a little bit of a concern for me. But hey, only time will tell. Right, I'm going to stop sharing. I've had a request come in to do a review on United Health Group. So we're going to take a look at that on Thursday. So come back and see us on Thursday and see what we can make of United Health Group. Until next week, take care.